That's right. Pepperoni, pineapple, and pubes. You heard me. Shannon's working, right? All right, she'll know what I'm talking about. Don't be a dick. Hi, folks. How are you? How's it going, folks? Good to be with you. We can turn mine down just a tad, folks. How you doing? It's a beautiful, what is it, Thursday. Last show of the week. If you'd like to join the show, 888-599-NICK. 888-599-6425 is the phone number. And a couple of quick technical notes at the top. As far as people calling in, this is a tricky thing. Okay, that's why not a lot of podcasts do this, because the technology is very tricky. I want you to think of this as like TV in 1950. That's what we're doing here. So, but when you guys call in, I appreciate if you try to stick to what I'm talking about first. And then if you want to make a comment off topic, do that after quickly, if you could. But try to stay on topic, and it gives the show a better flow. Technically, I know the first show was low, the whole show. I guess the volume was kind of low. We fixed the settings. The rest of it's the software, but because we can't crank it, then you're going to get feedback and stuff. And also with the phone calls, there's going to be like a 2-second delay, because most people call in on cell phones where there's a natural delay. But because we're doing this through the internet, it has to go through a mixer, the computer. That adds to the delay a bit. Trust me, I don't fucking like it either. But we'll get used to it after a while. But just cut us some slack. It's the first week, and you've been great. I think we might have set a record as far as subscriptions on Patreon for the first 3 days of a show. I might have made that up, but I got to believe that might be the truth. And we love Patreon for providing this technology and allowing me to make a little money, so I don't have to go to skid marks in Buffalo 6 times a week. If you know what I'm saying. 888-599-NICK. So yeah, if we stick to those parameters, it should be just fine. What is going on today? First story, follow-up to Papa John's. Apparently, John Schnatter, what kind of guy named Schnatter makes pizza for a living? That's pretty good. People, there he is right there. You can see he's concerned. He's either looking at a lawyer right there or watching a playoff game, the World Cup or some shit. The more I look at him, the more he does look like he's from Indiana. But anyways, we talked about it yesterday, him being on a conference call with a PR firm that's helping out his company, and him using the N-word. And what he said was, they were talking about, they got into the conversation about the players kneeling and all that. And remember, that was a controversy that hurt his business a little bit last year. And then he made the comment saying that Colonel Sanders used to call some of his black employees niggers, and there was no blowback. I don't know what he was thinking there, but you're not going to sit here and tell me he resigned today. By the way, you're not going to sit here and tell me that he said, "Well, I should be able to do that," and those were the good days. I don't think that was the context. And then he brought up, to point out his distaste for racism, how bad it was in this country. You can take him down now. He's scaring me, okay? Take that ugly motherfucker down. Thank you very much. I want to leave my greasy, oily Italian skin and guinea charm up there. But he pointed out how white people used to drag black people behind cars. He was making a point at how horrible racism was and all that. Again, because of the times we live in, the media jumps right on it. People that were on the conference call were offended. I'm guessing white liberals mostly. Might have been some black people. I don't know. But the point is, he resigned today. Okay? And he gives the other... And I'm not defending that type of... talk, but I'm just saying he's putting it in context. He was making a point about racism. So, but his stocks fell, and as soon as he resigned, the stocks went right back to where they were. And but he resigned, so that's the world we're living in.
Bye, dickhead.
So.
Now you will learn about loss of freedom, loss of humanity. Now you and I will truly be the same, counselor.
News reports attributing the use of the inappropriate and hurtful language to me during a media training session regarding race are true, Schnatter said today in a statement released by Papa John's. Regardless of the context, I apologize. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society. Okay, but you can't say regardless of context because that's what language is. It's all about the context. So with that logic, even if he came out and said, I think what Colonel Sanders calling the N-word, his employees the N-word, is absolutely deplorable, him calling them niggers. Making a positive statement about that, which is pushing back against racism, you won't even be able to say that. Or if you said, I think that is the most reprehensible thing I've ever heard, dragging people behind a truck, black people behind a truck or whatever, you're not even going to say that because he says context doesn't matter. So you're just giving the PC police more ammunition. But then again, he's the CEO of a very successful company. And so it's probably more of a financial thing. 888-599-6425, 888-599-6425. But my point being, so what? Those words are off limit, and no matter what context? I mean, we'll be down to 3 words in a few years. That is utterly ridiculous. I call it linguistic bullying. And, again, in this case, probably a financial decision. And it shows how much power the media has and that word has, that the stock dropped. And as soon as he resigned, it went right back. So the shareholders aren't making a moral decision. They're making a financial one. Wouldn't you say? But, when you come out and say the context doesn't matter, well, it does matter. Because you can say those words in a context where they aren't racist, which I'm guessing is what he was doing. But some people were offended on the phone and, had a real problem with it. So he resigned. And it only adds to this hypersensitive, creepy world we're living in where we, police our language. And by the way, that's the very definition. It's the very definition of political correctness, using language to manipulate people's behavior. And it's worked very well. That's why people play identity politics on the left. And again, not defending that type of talk, but in context. You can't say it doesn't matter. The context doesn't matter. There's no... Then you're letting the idiots who freak out over every little thing win. I almost gave out the old serious number. 888-599-NICK, 888-599-6425. I'd like to hear your thoughts on him resigning. It's getting creepy. And as far as the N-word goes, we covered this on Tough Crowd, and I remember saying this on Tough Crowd. It was a bit that I used to do, but it was absolutely true. I was called a nigger from 1st grade to at least 5th grade, almost every day, because when I was a kid, I used to get very dark in the summertime. And I would go to school, and I was in a predominantly white town, so it was always white Irish kids with their blonde eyelashes and their red eyebrows that I used to get in fist fights with. But they used to call me Nick the Nigger, and it would infuriate me. So it didn't help. Again, my mother sent me to school in a purple suit and a fur coat, so I think that might have added to that. Just kidding, folks. But I would hear it all the time, and literally get into fights or go home crying and saying, and I was white. But I've used it on stage and never, and again, this is where context comes in, never in a derogatory way. I used to do a bit, well, now I do a bit about, it's about funerals, people getting old, my parents' friends dying. And I say to my mother in one of my bits, well, how did Mrs. Hayes die? And my mother says, well, she slipped on the sidewalk going to church, fell, and a bone came, her ass bone came through her hip bone came through her ass. That's what it was. And then my mother actually added this. She said she almost bled out on the sidewalk. And I said to my mother, did you just use the term bled out? You're an 80-year-old white woman. What are you, dating El Chapo? Doesn't sound like an old white woman. Bitch almost died on the sidewalk, nigga. That's how I use it. And it gets a laugh from everybody. Nobody has a problem with it except for one girl in Birkenstocks from the West Nyack area. But nobody ever has a problem with it as far as minorities and stuff. And how's it going? Are the phones working? I mean, usually they're backed up before I get on the air. Huh? The phones are up. Nick, it's you that's the fucking problem. Huh? The phones are just fine, asshole. What's the other? I had another bit, and again, it was my mother or my father on the phone. I just talk about how we hear the word so much, everybody's using it. And I remember making a phone call, and whoever answered, yo, what's up, my nigga, what's up? I'm like, Dad, could you put Mom on the phone, please? Enough of this horse shit. You're not that hip. And so in that context, I guess I'm not even supposed to use it in that context. Is that what you're telling me? We're giving the word too much power. Same with the word cunt and faggot and all the other words that, again, and this is coming from the left. All right? If you guys don't like political correctness, it's coming from the left. It always has. And again, it's to shut down straight white male Christians for the most part. Not too many female comics, gay comics, Muslim comics get in trouble for bashing the other side. Let's be fucking honest, okay? But, so he resigns. I don't know. I've only had Papa John's pizza, like I said, on the road once or twice. I think I was in Atlanta with Brett Butler. Remember her, Grace Under Fire? I was on her show for half a season. It actually used to beat out Seinfeld in her first season before Jerry took off. It's actually a great show. 888-599-6425 is the phone number. Did I scare people with my little speech up top about sticking to topics? Yo, man, I ain't talking about black people and pizza. I hate that shit, yo.
Yeah, no, it's tough to stay on one thought for that long for some people, I guess.
That is true. The average American has the attention span of a crack baby, and you learn that when you do comedy. But it's a weird thing. But this whole notion that one segment of the population can use a word and another can't is just utterly ridiculous to me. Use it at your own fucking risk, I'm saying. But absolutely ridiculous. A friend of mine, Kevin Flynn, he's a comic. He lived out in L.A., and he did a bit. I can't remember the context, but he told, obviously he's a white, white preppy looking dude, and he's very liberal, very liberal. And he was doing a bit explaining the word nigger. He wasn't saying it derogatory, and a couple of fucking brothers, like threatened him after the show. So that these buzzwords that nobody. It's all emotion. There's no logic, no reason, and it's getting creepy. There's buzzwords, and I've told a lot of comics this, and I used to practice this at the Comedy Cellar, which is a small room, and some nights it can get chatty or whatever, and there's certain politically correct, there's buzzwords that I would bring up in the middle of my set. I wasn't even talking about it, but if the crowd was a little chatty, I'd just go, and you women... And you could hear a fucking pin drop. Everybody would just laser focus. Or black people. I'm telling you, these fucking Native Americans, right in the middle of a bit that if I was talking about my marriage or my car or whatever, and laser focus. So that's a little trick for you young comics. If there's a room that's a little short on attention span and a little bit chatty, just go, you women and... The fucking bartenders and the waiters and waitresses will stop what they're doing, thinking that you're about to blow up your career. And if you're on Twitter, you could do that, as I learned. Twitter, I used to have a bit about it. It's kind of ironic. That's how I get canned from the radio show. But Twitter is like, I used to type out this shit. Who was the kid in the hoodie down in Florida? Trayvon Martin?
Trayvon Martin,
yeah. Trayvon Martin. I used to talk about, I tweeted out something about Skittles and shit right after the incident, and I knew it was kind of edgy and stuff, but it's like being a suicidal guy with a loaded gun. I had my finger, I had it all typed out. My finger is literally an eighth of an inch from the tweet button. My wife's like, don't you fucking do it. I go, I will fucking have us living in a base-room apartment in the Bronx in a fucking minute if you...
Sitting there like tempting yourself, like, come on, motherfucker, do it.
Well, it is. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of what do you call it? Self-destructiveness in comic. That's the DNA of a comedian. You're in a room and you're having a conversation, and there's an opening there where anybody else would say, I would not. I'm not going to say that. That's where comics. That's in your DNA for you to say that. I remember in high school, I'm in an English class, and me and my buddy Bob Murphy, who got voted funniest guy in the class, and he was the funniest person I've ever goddamn met, but he got yelled at for making a couple jokes, so did I, and my English teacher's next, and he used to say, fuck my English teacher. He goes, the next fucking one of you pipes up again, and you're gone. And 2 minutes later, he said something that left an opening, and Murph beat me to the punch. He gets kicked out, and 5 minutes later, I threw a But that's the DNA of a comedian. That's why this shit is... It makes me sick, my coworkers, my co-comedians that are on the other side of this. So you're for groupthink. You're in the arts. You're supposed to be creative. How does groupthink help that? It doesn't. I'm telling you there's something wrong with the phones, guys. Unless my little speech really did, huh? They're open my ass. I'm telling you, when the show's over, we're going to find out something wasn't open. I'll tell you what we'll be opening. Your job opening.
Yeah, I guess this is my last day then.
No. I'm kidding. You're probably right, but 888-599-6425. Unless, do I have the wrong screen up or something? I'm just saying the first couple shows they were backed up before we get on the air. I don't know. Go upstairs and my dog is leaning on the. Anyways, so John Schnatter, I don't know if he makes a good pie or not. He's history, but I wanted to follow up on that. Bye-bye, Johnny. Bye-bye. You guys had Papa John's?
I haven't.
We got comments.
I only like good things.
You know, like, well, maybe Ryan. I don't hear bad things about it, but
No?
I make my own pizza.
Yeah, I'm used to solid pizza down in Westchester.
Well, yeah, we have great food.
Yeah. People say it's the water.
What's Ryan mumbling about in the background?
Checking the streams.
There's one now. I hope it's Papa John himself. Papa John, Uncle Tom. I don't give a shit. We're talking racism and pizza only in America. Can I order a dark crust, or is that gonna get me fucking shackles? There's no name or information. Or Jason looks like he's working for one of those late night infomercials. Ordering the what was the mint chess set? But we got to stop with this silliness. And when I say we, I mean you, the fucking left or the far left. And I want to hear more about that hashtag walk away. I should have Googled that today if I was too busy cutting my grass like a suburban Mameluke. A what? A Mameluke. The Mameluke of the air. Anyways, let's go to, we're going to go to our buddy Larry in D.C., and he's on topic. You know why? Because he's in D.C., and they take it seriously, stuff like this. I'm not talking about the politicians, people who live in D.C. That's what we like about them. Larry, welcome to the show, and I'll warn you about the 2-second delay. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah. I saw you a few times. Looking forward to your Alexandria Ale House appearances. I'm actually bringing one of my Muslim friends with me. He thinks you're hilarious as well.
And is he going to have a book bag with him?
No, he's cool. He's cool. He digs your comedy.
That's a good Muslim.
Yeah. On this topic. On this topic, I think when he came out, what Schneiderman is his name, I believe he said. I think when he came out about kneeling, about the football players kneeling, I think, he had the X on him from there, and they went with whatever. If he said anything off color, they were coming after this guy.
Larry,
and that's what I feel happened here.
Larry, what was his take? Was he in line with Trump as far as the kneeling? I can't even remember, honestly.
Yeah, I believe so. He came out and said something like it's unpatriotic and maybe they're babies. I can't remember exactly, but he said something to that effect.
Right. So he was sort of on Trump's side, and can you imagine in this day and in this country that that you just speaking out saying, I think it's wrong when people kneel during the national, and you're on the wrong side of the fucking argument.
It is crazy, and you know, I work for the government, and I work with a lot of liberals, and the beautiful thing is I'm able to have discussions with people of color at work, deep conversations about race and PC and Trump and whatnot, and it's good. I feel good having these conversations, and you know. The problem I have is I wonder if they're thinking, you know, they'll call me down center. They'll say I'm down the center, but then I have in the back of my mind that they might be thinking, well, he's really for Trump. So it's
yeah, that's
like
where we are.
You know, so it's yeah, exactly.
It swung so far left, Larry. It's crazy who they think are moderates on the left. It swung so far left during the 8 years of Obama that you know, it's got to come back a long way. Like you said, even if you're a moderate, it makes it sound like you're an extreme. Well, just like the Supreme Court justice, people who are for the Constitution the way it was originally written, they call them right-wing extremists or whatever, or Tea Party members, white people in the late 60s who actually pick up their trash after they have a protest. That's considered fucking wildly extreme on the right.
Yeah, and it seems like they're coming after the Freedom Caucus leader, Jim Jordan, who was wrestler coach at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just seems like they're targeting. And it seems like that. Even Paul Ryan came out and said, I'm standing behind this guy. Because they know it's bullshit. Standing
behind this guy. That's how that's how Jordan got in trouble in the first place. All right, hey Larry, good call, buddy. I'll see you in at the Alexandria, Virginia. What's the gig again? What's the name of the place?
I think it's Alexandria Ale House. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Ale House. I can never remember it. Thank you, Larry. Great call. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
The 14th.
All right. 888-599-6425 is the phone number. I didn't mean to talk about this all day. I want to get to the in a few minutes. I want to get to Strzok went in front of the oversight committee today, the judiciary committee or whoever, and he took a real pounding. And we have some clips of that, which was fun. But before we move on to that, we'll go to our buddy Nellie in Philly. Nellie, what's going on? Thanks for calling.
Hey, Nick, how you feeling, man?
I'm hanging in there, brother.
Just wanted to find out your take on that Mexican. Perfect, man. I love your show, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. That's all I got to say.
I have no choice. I don't know how to sing and dance.
I guess so. But I wanted to find out your take about that Mexican guy, the 91-year-old guy that got beaten up with the brick by the black chick. And they didn't even charge her a hate crime. I want to see what you got to say about that.
Well, I think it's self-explanatory.
How you feel about it?
Because he was Mexican, right?
Yeah.
And she was what, black?
Mm-hmm.
Black.
Well, they charged her with assault and battery.
Yeah. Well, because she's a black female. That's the world we live in. I call it another form of I call it another form of reparations. That's all it is. Hate crimes are hate crime, the laws only created to prosecute basically white guys and stuff. And it's fucking outrageous. I mean, you look at these clips on video. Did you see the brawl, the road rage thing last week with the two black chicks? I think they were beating up on a Hispanic girl. And I like to see how that's going to go down in court. I'm sure there were. Here's the thing, Nellie, and somebody made a great point a few years ago. Why, first of all, hate crime, they're trying to read your mind, what's in your mind, which is silly. But you could go out today and get an offender bender, and get out of your car and get in a fight with a guy, and call him a fucking faggot or something, not even knowing he turns out he's gay, and you're going to be nailed with a hate crime. Even though you didn't know the guy was gay when you guys got into it. It's creepy.
Yeah, they do the same thing in England. I heard in England they did the same thing where some black guy broke into an English guy's house and he started calling him all the racist names. They didn't give the black guy as many charges as the English guy, and he broke into his house. That's the funniest thing, you know.
The English. This is where all this PC shit starts from. Let's pull up. We have a picture of the guy that got beat up, the old guy. The Twinks just said.
Yeah, 90-year-old man.
Yeah, that guy. You know what? But I gotta be honest with you. I look worse after I did the comedy show and I got smacked in the face by the angry lesbian. Look at him, though.
You did.
Look at him. That's a tough old Mexican dude. How could you hit somebody like? I watched a clip today from four days ago. A black guy went behind it was called the George Webb restaurant down south somewhere, and this like fucking black dude, he looked like he was fresh out of the federal pen, goes back in the kitchen and sucker punches like this old white woman. Fucking what is going on out there? But look at that guy.
Oh, is that the one where she pulled out the gun?
Yeah, the woman she was working pulled out a gun. Pulled out a gun.
Yeah.
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 So, anyways, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's the liberal California.
Yeah, but that shit is spreading everywhere. So be careful. Like I said, you get in a fight with somebody, and when you get, thanks for the call, Nelly. By the way, he's a regular. Thanks for the call. When you get in a fight with somebody or whatever, you're gonna say the most hateful shit you can think of. At least that's what I'm gonna do. And so is whether you're black, Asian, Hawaiian. You're going to look at me and go, you greasy guinea motherfucker.
That's the easiest thing to target, too, is go after what's apparent, and that's race.
Of course. If you got a hockey helmet on and I'm kicking the shit out of you and you're in a wheelchair, I'm going to call you a retard. What a horrible example. All right, let's move on. 888-599-6425. That actually spells out Nick. I spent that kind of money on that number. Anyways, let's move on to what went on in D.C. today. And the dirty cop, I call him, Peter Strzok, just a fucking pompous dink. But he went up against, the Trey Gowdies and the Bob Goodlats of the world. And this is the guy, you know what I'm talking about, Peter Strzok. He had his lover, Lisa Page, and they were exchanging texts before Trump got elected. They just totally hate Trump's fucking guts. And all the texts prove it. And then the IG report comes out, and he says that there was really no bias. So that guy should be canned. Christopher Wray should be canned, the present director of the FBI, because he agrees it wasn't he doesn't believe it was politically motivated. What a bunch of horseshit. You guys have been polluted by the D.C. swamp or whatever. Oh, my God, I have water on my iPad. So absolutely ridiculous. But he went in front of the committee today. And we've been waiting this. And Lisa Page refused a subpoena that she got at the beginning of the fucking week. And she has to answer by Friday. So what are they hiding? A whole bunch of shit. Okay, this has been a witch hunt since day one. And if you don't believe that, I don't care what side of the aisle politically you're on. You're not being fucking honest with yourself. But let's play. This is the opening comments. Opening statement, I believe, by Peter Strzok. Let's take a look.
Unequivocally and under oath, not once in my 26 years of defending our nation did my personal opinions impact any official action I took. This is true for the Clinton email investigation, for the investigation into Russian interference,
Oh, you fucking
and
dude.
for every other investigation I've worked on.
You smug cocksucker. Fuck you.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
The balls on these people. Really? So words don't mean anything anymore unless they're used by a white pizza maker. Do you see how it works, kids, my twinks?
He missed a few buzzwords, that's all.
Oh, my aching stem. This is fucking infuriating. That was his opening statement. I got dizzy. I was in my chair going, he's full of shit. He can't mean that.
He had a big smirk on the whole time, too. If you watch the whole proceeding, his giant smirk.
Of course he
Everything.
did. Because nothing's going to happen to him. This is considered punishment in D.C. You go in front of these committees, these oversight committees. You don't go to fucking jail. Hillary, that thick-ankle dog face, she's laying on her couch right now in Chappaqua eating bonbons, laughing her ass off. In her fucking ugly pink. They call it a pantsuit. I call it a wetsuit. That's how tight it is. 888-599-6425 is the phone number. Then Trey Gowdy, who heads up a lot of these committees, he always brings up a lot of shit, but he never ends up indicting anybody or what. He's a dog that barks a lot but doesn't bite. But he's always on the right side, in my opinion, folks. I'm just calling it the way I see it. I'm not going to pretend, both sides are wrong and blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. Let's play Troy Gowdy actually reading some of these texts and calling a spade a spade. Take it away, Troy Gowdy. Oh, fellas, where's the volume?
100 million to zero. When she was still under investigation, wasn't even the nominee, hadn't been interviewed, and 30 other witnesses had also not been interviewed. In March of 2016, Agent Strzok had Clinton winning 100 million to zero. Even though the investigation was far from being over. That is the prejudging of someone's innocence before all the evidence is in.
Exactly.
On the other hand, he said Trump would be destabilizing, called him an idiot, abysmal, bigoted nonsense, called him a disaster, said he should F himself. Strzok promised to stop Trump from becoming president before the investigation even began. He talked longingly of Trump resigning 2 months after he was inaugurated and well before the special counsel investigation even began. Strzok even talked about impeachment the day special counsel was appointed. That is prejudging guilt, it is prejudging punishment, and it is textbook bias.
Those are actual texts, but there was no political bias. Look at Trey Gowdy. He always looks like he was on a sailboat right before and the wind was coming from the west. It's always he has a different part every time we see him on TV. But I like him. He's sharp as a tack, and he just laid it out. How the fuck? Can you imagine if people were saying that about Obama in texts? Fuck this Muslim Marxist motherfucker. And maybe somebody was, but I haven't seen the text.
Those people probably disappeared very inconspicuously.
No, because it didn't happen, Jason. Fucking let me school you, all right, you twink? It didn't happen. That's the point. 888-599-NICK. Whoa! How are you, folks? Look at the camera work we got here. I'm gonna pretend it's a GoPro, right? I'll pretend I'm surfing with my dog or some shit. Ah! I banged my fucking knee. 888-599-6425. 888-599-6425. But I love, Trey Gowdy is just a pit bull. But can you imagine being Strzok and just sitting there and making that statement? There was no political. We're going to play another clip it's just fucking laughable. Gowdy starts to lose his shit. And just because of the pomp. I mean, what does that tell you about Strzok? He's probably, does he ever leave D.C., a couple times a year to go to his summer home in some island or something? And again, let's not disparage the FBI because he doesn't represent 95% of them. Those guys keep us safe. It's true. They work around the clock. But there's some dirty ones, and he's the dirtiest one. My point is, okay, he goes before, is he going to do any fucking time? Okay? He cleared Hillary Clinton before she was even interviewed. I mean, just a fucking DC douche. But here's more Gowdy and Strzok, and this was actually my favorite part. Let's play.
And your testimony is Bob Mueller did not kick you off because of the content of your text. He kicked you off because of some appearance that he was worried about.
Sure. My testimony, what
That
you
fucking
asked and what I
haircut.
responded to was that he kicked me off because of my bias. I'm stating to you it is not my understanding that he kicked me off because of any bias, that it was done based on the
he's
appearance.
angry.
If you want to represent what you said accurately, I'm happy to answer that question, but I don't appreciate what was originally said being changed.
I don't give a damn what you appreciate, Agent Strzok. I don't appreciate having an FBI agent with an unprecedented level of animus working on 2 major investigations during 2016.
You know, I fucking hate the way you make me fucking ride you. Now get the fuck out of here.
Did you hear that, fellas? What are you guys, looking at porn in there? both smiling at some screen that I don't even know about.
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know. But how about that? I loved Gowdy going, I don't care what you appreciate, what you don't. I don't appreciate an FBI guy playing both sides of the fence, basically. It was refreshing. It was true. And for the IG report to say there was no political bite, go fuck your sister. Can you say that on ABC? I sound like a Democrat now running for senator. But good for you, Trey Gowdy. And how's the collusion thing coming? So first it was collusion with Russia. They couldn't pull anything up. It was Stormy Daniels. We get rid of that. What else we got? Manafort. That poor bastard. I saw him, a picture of him. He's lost about 40 and aged about 50 years. And some judge ruled today that his prison that he's in currently is too cushy. Ugh. We're going to send him to that Turkish prison at Midnight Express. That's a movie you guys have to see. It'll scare the shit out of you. I think it was about a guy from this area. So, yeah, the balls on these people just that have been in D.C. their whole fucking lives. And he looked like a real asshole today, in my opinion. But I'll say it again, what good is it? What good is it? Is he going to be charged with anything? Or is it just a tongue lashing on national TV? That'll do it. Let's get the thick ankle dog face in there, too, and question her. And everybody else. Do we get a caller on... I call it line 1. It's really the top. It says you... the guy's name is Junior? Uncle Junior? Do we have... First of all, let me play... I think I got an Uncle Junior clip right here.
Guy comes home with a bouquet of flowers for his wife. I guess I'll have to spread my legs now, she says. Why, he asks. Don't you have a vase?
I'll laugh at that till I'm 116. If the cigarettes don't get me first. Why was that funny, that scene? He was telling it in a mental institution to a bunch of mentally ill people. One guy's laughing his ass off, another kid starts crying. Anyways, I'm breaking the cardinal rule of going off topic, but it is my fucking show. I pay for the poster behind me. Anyways, let's go to our buddy Junior on line 1. Junior in Houston, how are you?
Hey, Nick. Welcome back.
Thank you, fella.
Land of the living.
Land of the living, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear you back, man. I was really pissed that you got taken off Sirius. I mean, I don't have Sirius. I had your Connect Pal stuff, but I was like, man, they were going to get you sooner or later, but damn it. Fucking A, over that.
Yeah, I guess. Again, there's some dispute, but yeah, that's the line they wanted to go with, that it was the tweet. I'm not sure if that was the case, but either way, like I said, if it was they just didn't want to renew the contract because they didn't care for the show, either way, it was, I'm saying it was, based on my right-wing politics. But anyways, you wanted to make
I don't know, Nick, if Samantha Bee can have a terrible show, I don't understand why you can't have a good show. It's like, there's enough terrible shows out there. You're a really good show. You create good content, and it's just like, well, no room for this. It doesn't push on our agenda.
Well,
it's just bullshit.
I don't have a clitoris. I'm not a person of color. I don't have a clit and a dick. I'm not Indian. I'm not. Just look at Netflix and all the specials they released. You can't find a straight white guy out of the 9. And can we quit calling them specials when you're giving out 42 of them a week? Let's call them fucking whatever they are. Common. But your comment on Strzok.
If I may make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strzok. Oh God, the story is amazing. Doesn't it just show how arrogant the FBI is and the people in government, that they're just the ability to just toy with people's lives. It's just incredible. I mean, I'm damn near an anarchist at this point, just because I want to see these structures taken down. And when you see stuff like this, it's like, why not?
Yeah.
You've given this asshole that much power, and it's not just a regular politician. Politicians can be elected and taken out in theory, but the FBI, we have no control over that. We just pay their salaries.
That's exactly
Isn't that
right.
Mind-boggling.
It is, but I don't want to paint. And again, because I know a few FBI guys. Some of them hang out at this comedy club I go to, and I don't want to paint the whole unit as bad. But the few guys at the top, like the guys with the juice, the Mullers, The ones with the juice, there's just a handful. But if they're bad, it contaminates the whole. You know, they're underlings. So yeah, and you're right. Who's going to police the police? Look, I want you to go look at Bob Mueller.
Yeah.
Go look at what was the guy from Boston, the gangster, Whitey Bulger. Go watch. Google that. Yeah, Google that and Bob Mueller, because I think he was the head of the FBI back then, or the head in the Boston area. Google that. 4 guys went to prison that ended up being cleared, the names being cleared, and like 2 of them died in prison. So there's some dirty cops there, just from what I've read. But hey, who am I?
Right. Well, and the fact is, all this comes out in the light of day, but when there's so much distance between the incident and the actual acquittal, it's like the outrage is gone. It's like the attention spans are just done.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you can be angry for years, but I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah, you can.
And whenever people get things wrong, well, you can, Nick. But, you know, it's one of those things. Once it's done, it's done. It's like you fucked up somebody's life. And it's like, well, on to the next thing. It's like, well,
yeah, no, you make a good point.
Done.
You make a good point. And they'll keep stringing this out until the public forgets about it. That's actually a playbook that some of these guys use.
Right.
They keep appealing, and you string it out, and then it goes off TV. Nobody thinks about it. And then the next, Peter Strzok's home smoking a pipe and letting his boyfriend lick his ass.
Oh, hey, Nick.
Okay, went a little too far
off
then.
Topic. If you got it one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Junior.
Did you see the Sean McCoy alleged beating up his girlfriend thing?
Well, it wasn't him beating. Yes, I brought
Eagles.
it up. I brought it up yesterday.
I don't know.
The story is that allegedly he sent somebody to his ex-girlfriend's house to get the jewelry back that he gave her, and whoever did that. This is the alleged story. Whoever he sent, the pictures don't lie.
Right.
Her face was almost unrecognizable. And again, we don't know, but these guys are playing the NFL, but that wouldn't surprise me. And then the LaShawn McCoy's girlfriend, she has a friend who tweeted yesterday, "We really know the truth about you, LaShawn. How you beat your kid when he wets his bed. How you beat your dog so bad he had kidney failure. All this shit that was too specific again." But let's pull up we actually have the picture. I'm glad you brought it up, Junior. Do we have the picture of LaShawn McCoy's ex-girlfriend or whatever? We're going to pull it up on the screen, okay? So, it looks like she did a set at a comedy club, and apparently there was a redneck who got way out of hand. There's a story you're never going to hear. But look at that. Look at that. That's really, that is just sickening.
She definitely burned his eggs.
Whatever. I mean, no, seriously, it's hard to joke about that. That's fucking, and again, I don't think,
it is.
I mean, I don't know, we don't know, and you don't want to preach, but Jesus Christ, I mean, on the same day, there was a guy for the Patriots who was being brought up on domestic charges, and, Pac-Man Jones, the incident, all in that one day, so come on. I mean, look at that. That is absolute, there is no excuse. Go ahead.
Well, part of the reason I wanted to bring this up to you is, in 10 years, like, I never thought in my lifetime gay marriage would get legalized, and it looks like weed's going to get legalized. Do you think, like, the next 2 things I think are going to fall is I think we're going to have an open border, and I think the NFL is going to be done, like, within 10 to 15, it's in my lifetime.
Well, here's why I disagree.
So I think those things are going to go gone.
Well, here's why I disagree, because the open borders are only going to help the NFL. There's going to be black and brown people pouring in who run a sub-4 440.
You need 4 people.
All right, Junior.
Hey, for sure.
Junior, good call.
All right, Nick.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Love you. Talk
All
to you
right.
later, Nick.
Take it easy.
Bye.
The NFL, man. You know how bad you have to fuck up to hurt the NFL? The thing's been a juggernaut. This is how old I am, folks. I watched the first NFL game, Monday night game. I was like, that was in, 1969 or what? I was like 7. On a Monday night, my old man was downstairs. He was moonlighting, doing books for somebody. The Gambinos or no, I'm only kidding. I'm from the straightest Italian family. First, I'm not even, I told you, I'm 23% Italian. I'm more English and Irish. But people want to throw me in that greasy Guinea gangster thing. Do you guys believe in that, by the way, that ancestry? You think those tests are valid? I mean, I sent 11 stool samples, so I thought they might have been fucking with me. And I don't know how I got off that. Anyways, Strzok, I hope you hang. What do we got here? We have Stormy Daniels. Enough already. Joe Walsh. Me and Artie interviewed him. I think it's Joe Walsh. I think that's his song. He called me a real dope or something at the end of the interview. Or whatever. Call me.
Must have gone well then.
Wait, Ryan, did you just go like that? Yeah, you did, you little prick. These guys have been here 3-4 days. And I go. He's a computer nerd, so, I said, Joe Walsh called me what did he call me? It was like, not a dope. It wasn't a dope. It was something derogatory. But I just told the story, and you can see the bodybuilder, Ryan. No, put it back on you, you chicken shit. Get it back on you.
No hiding, I guess.
He goes like this. Like Bill Nye. The scientist Bill Nye. I was on with Anthony Comia. I set him up because I know he's an arrogant ass. I go, yeah, I flunked out of the University of Maine. Set him up. He took the bait like a child. He goes, yeah, that's real shocking. And I went, I don't like your fucking sarcasm, ass. This is why I love Anthony Comia. Anthony didn't even blink. He just started belly laughing. Most people on the, hosting a show be like, oh, Jesus, it's going to get tense. He didn't even friggin' blink. He was belly laughing. Anyway, Stormy Daniels. We talked about this a little bit. She still looks goddamn good. And you twinks you couldn't handle her. You guys, you've had probably four pieces of ass, 3 of them male in your life, but I could handle that. That's a mugshot? Be spanking it. Can we waterproof that? I'll bring in my goddamn shower tonight. Anyways, she's cleared of charges. Did we talk about this yesterday? Help me out, my Alzheimer's.
No, you might be thinking of the airline jerk-off story.
Yeah, I'm confusing my whores. She was arrested while performing Wednesday night, which was last night, at a Columbus titty bar after allegedly having physical contact with the patrons. And, of course, her asshole lawyer, Michael Avenatti, he's been all over TV and for the last couple months, said that she was set up, it was politically motivated. Police said Daniel was busted after allegedly touching 3 different undercover vice police officers during her performance at the Sirens Club. Guys, everything's a little loud. It's a little too loud. Everything. Guys, here you go. All right, there's a number between 1 and 10, all right? It's not 3 and it's not fucking 9. Oh, God, I'm sorry I brought it up. She was busted for allegedly touching 3 different undercover vice police officers during her performance. In violation of state law, barring anyone who is not a... Here's what's creeping me out about this law. You twinks, listen to this. In violation of state law, barring anyone who is not a family member from touching a dancer who is either nude or semi... So you're telling me, like, her uncle who molested her when she was 14, because that's why she's doing what she does today, he could actually finger pop her in public and get away with it now?
It's kind of weird. Makes you wonder what's going on in Ohio.
Yeah, I'm not asking you, Jason. You don't know what's going on in Westchester. Jason has got a touch of the limelight. I guess people are calling them twinks, and boy, I'll tell you, don't make me come in there with Jerry Sandusky.
It's going right to our heads, man.
It really is. I know your generation. You'll shoot a puppy on on YouTube if you think it's gonna get people out to your next open mic. Can I get through this? So anyways, anyone who's not a family member from touching a dancer who is either nude or semi-nude. I'm semi-nude right now, by the way. I'm wearing a pair of nice tight women's shorts. Listen to this. During her performance, she forced the faces of club customers into her breasts and used her exposed breasts to smack their faces. And who the fuck has a problem with that? She also allegedly fondled the breasts of female customers. Now, I guess I looked at that and I said, wait a minute. the customers aren't touching her. She's touching them. But if you allow the customers to touch you, you're breaking the law, apparently. But the point being, after the customer touched her, according to the attorney, those officers got up and arrested the performer on the spot. One of the customers touched her, and which reminds me of a place I used to go in Tampa when I first started comedy in the early 90s called Mons Venus. They didn't have a liquor license. It's still down there, I'm sure. It was the most popular titty bar like in Florida at the time. They didn't have a liquor license, which means you could actually touch the girls. And, of course, I had one night off. I got there. The show didn't start till I was there like on a Wednesday. Wandered over there at like 5 o'clock. I go in with the other comic. We walk in. It's me, him, and like 3 other guys maybe, and 14 dancers, completely nude, walking around like on the floor. And you could go sit down, and they would sit on your lap. And I had my hands like around their waist on the side of their boob, and nobody, because they didn't have a liquor license. I don't know what the... Cut to 10 years later, I get a call from a chick in Tampa. I go down, I visit my twins, Kevin and Schumacher. And, but you could touch the broads. I mean, the girls, the chicks, the whores. You could touch them. Anyways, she was cleared today of charges this afternoon because a part of the law is she only performed at that club once. The law only applies to dancers who appear there on a regular basis. I guess you don't know the rules. It takes you 14 times. What a fucking... Anything to get around the law when it comes to tits and pussy. What a country. I don't know how you people could hate it. Leather nipples Pelosi. So she was cleared of any charges. And, you know what this publicity stunt. She's back in the news. 888-599-6425. 888-599-6425. And, yeah, Mons Venus. I'll never forget that joint. I think it's still there. Finally tonight, another story where political correctness has just, it's run amok. The headline is, Cowboy slogan is sexist, University of Wyoming staff says. But many women love it. The slogan, that is. The world, here's the new slogan for the University of Wyoming. The world needs more cowboys. Oh, my God. Isn't that absolutely horrible? This proposed new slogan for the University of Wyoming was meant to be inclusive by design, according to the marketing campaign flyer. This is not a campaign to reinforce regressive stereotypes of cowboys from the pop cultural past, the flyer states. This is a campaign to rewrite them. Of course, but despite the attempt to use cowboy, the school's mascot, as an inclusive term, some people who work for the university found the proposed slogan and campaign to be sexist and racist. Gee, I wonder how they vote. Do you see how one side is at the fault of all this shit? Do you get it? Fucking, ooh. That was Laramie Boomerang. Is that her real name? You gotta be. I find that more offensive than Cowboy. Fucking broad name Boomerang. Try breaking up with her. Anybody get that? Fucking look out your window. She comes back a fucking day later. Folks, there's not 12 podcasts in the country that could have made that joke, and they'd be lucky. This is a sexist slogan. Faculty Senate President Donald O'Toole told the Chronicle of Higher Education, and I say to him,
Fuck you! 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 Fuck you!
Associate Professor Christine Porter told the Boomerang. Oh, I'm sorry, the Boomerang is the fucking. Is that the name? It doesn't matter. Associate Professor Christine Porter told the Boomerang that the word cowboy makes almost everybody picture a white heterosexual male. Porter also said the slogan is unacceptable because the word boy excludes anyone who identifies as a woman. And I say to you,
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
I think we cleared this up a long time ago, didn't we, in the 70s, about cowboys? When I hear cowboy, Maybe it's because I don't think of a straight white guy right away. Maybe you do if you watch a lot of Westerns. But I thought we debunked that stereotype back in the 70s. Pull up a couple of pictures. Not all cowboys are straight fucking white guys. Guys, you're really blowing the timing on this joke. Fucking, there you go. Does that guy... that guy would love you, Twinks. Would he not? That guy would have your headshots, or he'd have posters of you over his bed. Look at that piece of ass. That guy is shredded. Again, that was in the 70s. I just saw a story. He married some guy recently. You know? He looks like one of the Golden Girls. Go ahead, Jace.
This guy?
Huh?
This guy?
Yeah, that guy. But, okay, that debunks the stuff. Again, you guys went around. The Village people were huge in the 70s. We have, so I think of that. And at the other end of the spectrum, we have the next pick. Holy shit. Can we make it a little smaller? I can almost see your tits. That's all right. But you get my point, right?
Yeah. Diversity.
Exactly. Diversity. Inclusion. And again, and there's all kinds of cowboys. I met an Asian cowboy once at a bathhouse in San Francisco. Cost me $1,200. Anyways, pull up. When you think, again, this is from the 70s, blowing up the stereotype of just white fucking cowboys. Here you go. Not me. We really got to get a new computer. We have a mouse running on a wheel. YouTube clips? You guys fucking, you nerds. Go ahead.
Robert, I swear I'll blow this nigger's head all over this town. Oh, Lordy Lord, he's desperate. Do what he say. Do what he say.
By the way, why is that? Can I ask you why that clip is so small? Computer geniuses?
I think it's just the video on YouTube is uploaded small.
Really? There's no way of making that screen bigger. Seriously.
There we go.
Huh? Thank you. Because when you played it like that, it looked like the white guy was saying it. And it took the funny right out of it. Oh, my aching stem. I got 2 twinks. They'll learn. It's day 4. But that's a black cowboy is the point. Right? And so was Emmett Smith. And name a couple others. Michael Irvin. The point being, political correctness has run a goddamn muck. Here's the one positive thing before we go. The many women on the campus disagreed. After the proposed slogan drew criticism, women took to Twitter to express their frustrations with those who found the slogan sexist. One woman says, among all the reasons I can't take extreme feminism seriously, the University of Wyoming is in hot water for the use of cowboys in their new slogan, but not cowgirls. Twitter user Doll Rutledge posted. As the school's mascot, Cowboy, is an all-inclusive term, this is why Wyoming, she says, this is Wyoming, folks. Get tough or get gone. And then Kaylee Taylor said on her Twitter feed, the people that get offended by the University of Wyoming's new slogan, the world needs more cowboys, are exactly the fucking people, I threw fucking in there for emphasis, we don't want to come here. Nice going, ladies. There's a bunch of ladies who are, finally, we're seeing a little light at the end of the tunnel. Even people have had it. People have had it. Yes, kids? Good.
Would they prefer cow people? That doesn't sound right.
Cow people. That covers everybody at the mall sitting in front of one potato. No, exactly. What's the fucking alternative? And you know what? There are women. There's female cowboys. Another one, if I wasn't so lazy, the last quote on Twitter was a woman who actually works on a ranch and, punches cows in the head when they fall asleep. I went to the University of Maine. Do you ever push a cow over?
Heard of people pushing cows over.
Yeah, they fall asleep standing up. And I did it to a couple of my dates, too. It was, listen, folks. Excuse me. That's about it, kids. It's about all I got. I got a thing on vaginal rejuvenation, but I want to save that for... That's Monday's fodder. That's good Monday talk. Vaginal
get into that then.
rejuvenation. I have a whole bit on it on my Another Senseless Killing album. And we had to clear it because I gave the rights to somebody to sell it, But somebody told me that I can play it, but the story's too long. And this is the end of a first. I want to thank, seriously, you guys are already you're already a part of history here. Jason and Ryan, or Kevin and Stu. I don't know who these guys are. They fucking want
I'm
it.
gonna thank you, Nick, for the opportunity. I do really appreciate
Well,
it.
don't thank me too soon because I'm gonna come through that window one day and choke both ears after this performance. I'm bleeding from my ears. It was like I was in a Japanese, but I'm the one who asked for the shit up. But I mean, there's got to be a button between 1 and 19. Anyways, good job. Seriously, they showed up this week and got trained and took to it tremendously. And Big Jay Romanello, I hope you're listening. You're on vacation in your RV. Hope you're not dragging your wife behind the RV. Well, she's dragging you. I always wanted to do that, but I'm not fond on emptying a bucket of my own shit every 2 days. That sort of stopped me from renting an RV. Anyways, kids, that is about it. Did I hit all my buttons? I think I did. Monday through Thursday, people were asking me I'm trying to think of any questions they were asking me. They treat me like I'm a guy at an information booth at the mall. Hey, Nick, how do I get from tier 1 to tier 2? And what shows are for Christ's sake? I'm busy. But I'll answer it anyways. Yeah, so that's it. If there's any confusion, it's real easy. Monday and Wednesday are free. So if you're in the $7 Fredo package, you get 2 free shows and 1 pay show. That's 3 shows total. If you're in the Sonny or Michael Corleone package, you get all 4 shows. The difference being at the $15 level, the Sonny level, you only get 10% off merchandise. And at the Michael Corleone level, you get 20% off merchandise, a free hat or T-shirt, and a shout-out. That's it, though. So the Monday and Wednesdays free, and the Tuesday and Thursday are the premium shows, and you have to subscribe to get the premium shows. That's all there is to it. I want to thank you guys because seriously, we got a lot of subscribers before this thing even started. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And guys, seriously, great job this week. You were a godsend. I'm glad you showed up. Cut to me 10 seconds later, choking the life out of him after the cameras go off. But that is it. I will see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Remember, you think it, I'll say it. You're welcome.